And we're
Breaking
live.
news. Breaking news, everybody. We got ourselves a bit of interesting thing. Somebody managed to go back in time with a recording and record the disciples right before the beginning of the Christian religion. We're going to watch this live footage that was put together by the Babylon Bee, the most reliable source in media, as we examine what the early disciples actually did right before they formed the Christian religion. Michael, go ahead and play the video.
All right. Take one.
Are we all here? I need 100% participation for this to work.
Yeah, everyone's here. All 12, 11. 11 of us. What's the plan?
Well, as you know, Jesus is dead. But stick with me, okay? Stick with me. I have a plan. We are going to steal his body.
Okay, I'm tracking with you. What's next?
And then we're going to tell the whole world that he rose from the dead.
Oh, you know I'm in.
I love it
Heard
already.
that argument.
All right, classic. Then what?
And then we're all going to get brutally murdered.
Wait. Come again. Could you go over that last?
All right,
Yeah,
pause
I
it
think
for a minute.
10 of
Go
the
ahead, Michael.
apostles were brutally murdered, and then it was only St. John that lived out a full life. But yeah, go ahead.
And he ended up on an island hallucinating bizarre visions from an angel. But the thing that's so funny with this is that this is what people like legitimately believe. I mean, because the only option you have if you don't believe that the apostles did this is if you think they just weren't real and were invented by later people, which if you play that game with Christian historical figures, I'm sorry to tell you that we just don't have written history before like the year 1600. If you play that game where you just like reject contemporary sources because they say things you don't like. Like, I mean, you don't have the option of saying they weren't real unless you want to throw out the whole historical record. So a significant number of people have to believe that either this happened or that a bunch of babbling maniacs incapable of delineating between reality and falsehood convinced some massive portion of the world to follow their religion. Because those are the two options. Either all these people are having hallucinations, they really saw Jesus rise from the dead, or they lied. Those are the only options.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the comedy. This is a really funny video.
I was going to say there's a third option, Islam. Jesus didn't actually die. It was one of the apostles that took his place and died on the cross. So he was an
I've
imposter.
heard Muslims actually say that you're allowed to believe Jesus was crucified.
Oh. See,
I don't know about that. I cannot understand that religion. I've said this is a controversial take before. I don't think your religion exists if I can go to two people that are supposedly a part of it and receive wildly different narratives about the basic structure of reality. If that can happen, you don't have a religion, you have an association. So I consider Protestantism an association. I consider Judaism an association. I consider Orthodoxy to an extent an association. It is only something like Catholicism or specifically Anglicanism or specifically some denominations of Protestantism or Islam that I would think are religions individually, specifically because I do not think it makes sense when you can get wildly different explanations of reality from group to group. But let's get back to the video. We've got on a tangent.
Definitely.
Part real quick.
So what? We get murdered. What's the problem?
I like it. I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pete. I love me a good hoax as much as the next guy, right? What's in it for us? Do we all get riches, fame, and fortune first, right?
No, get this. You're going to be hated, persecuted, and reviled for the rest of your life.
Okay, guys. Okay, fellas. Look, I gotta be missing something here, right? Okay. I mean, why on earth would we do this? Can we start over?
Oh, okay. We'll start from the beginning. Everybody, for John, the beloved disciple.
So, okay. We go down to Jesus' tomb.
Sounds good.
This is really easy.
Then We pay off the Roman soldiers that are guarding the tomb with their lives.
Why would they do that?
And we somehow roll away the big stone that's in front of the tomb,
Obviously, you have to move the rock first. Yeah.
and then we steal his body.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Then we tell the whole world that he rose from the dead, and we get brutally murdered for our troubles.
Epic break, bro.
Peter, you rock.
Peter,
Oh, okay, guys. And then what?
Then we all get killed. Come on.
When do we see ourselves become exalted and praised?
That's just it. You don't.
What is happening? Anyone hear what I'm saying? This is the most idiotic plan of all time.
Chill out, bro. I mean, do I really have to explain the joke to you? Look, it's that we lie about Jesus' resurrection, and then we all die.
How am I supposed to chill?
Perhaps the apostles were just the first masters of meta-ironic humor.
Yeah, it's really
They were on a level of trolling none of us will get. They were not going to explain the joke.
like yeah, it's even like if the Roman Empire invented Christianity to be this religion that controls people, like wouldn't they have made a religion that does that rather than a religion that like enforces suffering on people, like forces people to love one another, like all of
Well,
these
they also wouldn't
things.
have
Like,
accepted a version of the early stories that hold them accountable for the murder of Christ. I mean, it's just, and this is the other thing is that, I mean, there is no way to explain the sort of historical doubt that comes into play with these issues. This video is incredibly humorous, but it's humorous because it plays upon like a reality of the way that people have to engage in the arguments to deny things like the resurrection seriously. And of course, the really funny thing here is you just have John out here. It's like, are all of you insane? What's wrong with you? Like, and then you get the rest of the merry band of pranksters out here. It's like, John, don't you get it? We're gonna totally troll them. We're gonna get brutally murdered to own total and complete strangers. We're not gonna get to see the punchline, but it's gonna be funny all the same.
I think that's a really good place to stop the thumbnail, not the video, but just,
When our heads are getting cut off, or worse, what is wrong with you guys? Thomas. Okay, look, back me up here. I know you can't be cool with all this. I know you gotta have some doubts. Come on.
Doubts? Oh no, how can it doubt? Shit,
Okay, you guys have officially lost it, okay? I am out of here. I'd rather be exiled to a deserted island than spend another minute with you wackos.
Have I got some good news for you?
There's so many to pick apart the references here. A guy calls Peter the Rock. Is this Peter, you rock? You get the doubting Thomas is out here. It's like, why would I have any doubts in this plan? John being the John from Patmos, who had the visions of the Book of Revelation while isolated. And this video is so dense with biblical references and so funny on so many levels because no one would make a joke like this. No one. It's such a ridiculous claim, but no one would seriously do something like this. Especially since if the apostles naturally possessed the rhetorical skill necessary to make people listen to them, all they had to do to become wealthy and successful in the Roman Empire is just make these exact same arguments for like the cult of Rome or something. They literally could have just come along and said, oh yes, well, Jesus rose from the dead. But what actually it was Yahweh is this God, which can only be communicated with by talking to lesser beings, which are these angelic-like figures that carry your prayers to him. And so really all the Roman pagan gods, they're actually just angels that carry your prayers to God. There were people that made this argument in the early church. It's talked about. Augustine of Hippo talks about one person that had that belief. It was a belief that was suggested by early Christians and strongly condemned by the people we now consider members of the Orthodox Church, in spite of the fact that just accepting that view would have ended the Catholic on pagan violence altogether.
Yeah, there's tons of crazy stuff out there, but you just see like the beauty of the Catholic Church, like this church that's stuck together in a universal way. And a little over 200 years after the apostles became the official religion of an empire that was persecuting it a few years prior. So that's it's a really good sign of the truth of Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a very, very good video. What do you rate it, James? I know this isn't your meme review, but
I'm really used to doing the memes, so I would give this video probably a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I mean, it really would have been a 10 out of 10 if they had if they maybe taken the joke like a bit further, like actually like showing maybe one or two of the apostles like about to be killed, and then like they're doing like the hand thing where they're like, you know, like that thing from 80s movies where people are like doing the hands together, like took the joke a bit further. Maybe if they do a sequel to this and they show St. Paul getting brought in on the joke, that would that would make the pair of jokes together a 10 out of 10. Like as a concept, this can go so much further than they went with it, and I'd love to see the if the resurrection was a hoax cinematic universe become a thing in the Babylon Bee.
you can keep
Because
going.
there's so much you can do with this concept.
You can go through all of European history. Get a series, but
Like it's just when you become Pope, it's like, all right, so we've got this really good meme. We got the best meme of all time. We've been keeping it going for like 1,000 years. And all you got to do, you just got to put on this crown, and you got to be rich, and you just got to say nothing about it.
that's the plot of the Da Vinci Code, I believe. I haven't watched the movie, but I've heard.
What, the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah.
Bro, I read that book, and I was so angry the whole time. It's not even funny. That book ruined like a week of my life. But we're digressing. Please donate and support to our cause. Help support starting a new Catholic Renaissance, this new rebirth of art, literature, and culture we're trying to do. Support, you know, everything we do here at Catholicism for the Modern World and at Catholic Reacts. We have our marketing links below. Link to the website. We got our store up and running. Consider prayerfully aiding us in our mission to make content here like what the Babylon Bee made commonplace on the internet by producing good, solid Catholic material for the online spaces. God bless you all. Michael, do you have anything you want to say to the people before we go?
May God bless you all. We'll end it right there.